issue. Because yeah,
You have Jimmy on there.
Well, yeah. It's really all it is. Hey, welcome everybody to the ESU Coaches Show. For this Monday night, October 7th, we're at Teddy's University in Stroudsburg. I'm Chuck Seese. I've got ESU lacrosse coach Xeni Barakos-Yoder to my left and ESU's Jimmy Terwilliger, head football coach, to my right. We're going to talk lacrosse. We're going to talk football. But first, I want to start off with Coach Terwilliger. Congratulations on a big win at Millersville. It was good to get a win. I kind of liken it for the – and I know you go 1-0 every week. So these next games, as you end the season now, you get into the final half of your season. I call them taking care of business. You take care of business every week, and you guys should be where you want to be at the end of the year.
We've got a great group of guys. They really played well Saturday. Against the Millersville team that has notoriously played us pretty tough on the road. So hats off to our players, our coaches for having a detailed plan, executing it well, and we walked out of there victors. And you said it, knocked the nail on the head. 1-0 every week. So this week we got a great opponent in Bloomsburg. That's also been notoriously a pretty tough out on the road. So we look forward to that, and our planning and our preparation starts tomorrow for that.
What players are we going to meet tonight?
You're going to meet Sean McTaggart, our quarterback. Has played lights out. I mean, his game on Saturday. You looked at, he passed for 3 touchdowns, ran for 1. Really has operated our offense at a really decent clip. Justin Cook had maybe one of the most all-time performances against a very good Millersville defense. Was in the end zone 3 different times in 2 different units. So both those 2 guys have done tremendous offensively. And then Everette Dingle played really good on our secondary. He's been one of the guys quietly who has done a nice job. Maybe you don't see him a lot in the stat sheets, but he has been all over the field. And then senior Matt Davis at linebacker has just been a part of a group that's functioning at a high level. And those 4 guys have really provided great leadership. They've done it the right way. Really excited to see those guys continue to grow.
You take on Bloomsburg this week at Bloomsburg. It's always a great atmosphere. You've been there as a player and a coach many times.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you throw the records out when you play Bloom, and you can remember a lot of those games. And when I played here, it was Bloom, Bloom, Bloom. And, it's nothing different. These guys play great football. They're well coached. They got great athletes. They play tough defense. They played us tough the last couple of years. So I really look forward to playing these guys on their homecoming this week at Danny Hale Stadium. So it'll be a lot of fun.
We'll have live coverage at 1:30 this Saturday afternoon with the kickoff coming up shortly after 2 o'clock. We're going to meet some of Coach Terwilliger's players in just a couple of minutes. We're also going to meet some of the ESU lacrosse players. So, Coach Yoder, thanks so much for bringing your team tonight. You guys are in an off-season. You're welcome. And you guys are in an off-season mode right now. But as we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, many of the spring sports have fall seasons as well, and yours is the same. So tell me what's been going on with your team this fall.
Yeah, sure. So we're pretty young, but we're doing really well. They're working hard at practice. We've had some tough opponents over the last 2 weeks, so we're really excited about that. Just on Sunday, we hosted a couple teams. We had Wilmington, we had Georgian Court here, Bloomsburg. We didn't play them while they were here, but we also had Lafayette last week for a midweek game, and then the weekend before that, we hosted Adelphi, Pace, Westchester, Mercy, and FDU, and we played lights out. So super excited about what they've shown us so far, and super excited that they've set the bar here, so we have a lot of room to go, but happy with where we've started.
Every year you have to bring new players into your program. Sure. Tell me about what are your expectations for the young players as they come into the program and get acclimated to playing at ESU?
Yeah, sure. So I rely mostly on the upperclassmen for them to set the tone of how we operate, and they've done a great job of that so far. Everyone just filling in the holes. I'm excited to see our offense. They've been doing an awesome job. We also have a couple transfers. They've done an awesome job so far just adapting to our culture and our atmosphere, and we're really excited.
Well, we can't wait to get your players here to talk to them about what they're working on in this off season, because I'm sure each player has individual things that they need to work on, and I'm sure that's part of the emphasis of this time of year.
For sure, yep.
well, we'll look forward to seeing those guys, and best of luck as your off-season continues.
Thank you so much.
We've got more to come. We're going to preview this week's game against the Bloomsburg Huskies as we talk to some of the ESU Warriors players. So stay with us. We're just getting started here tonight at the ESU Coaches Show at Teddy's University, and we're here every Monday night at 5 o'clock. So come on down and join us next week. We'll be right back with more of the ESU Coaches Show. Welcome back to the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We're at Teddy's University every Monday night starting at 5 o'clock. So come on down and talk some Warrior sports with us. Campbell Heller is to my left and Abby Simonetti is to my right. ESU Lacrosse players. You just heard from their coach that they're getting some real good work in the off-season to keep them sharp. And Abby, that's where I want to start with you because you're in goal for the Warrior Lacrosse team. I have this much experience in playing goal at soccer. 1 year, I played soccer when I was 8, so it's the only experience I have in between the pipes. I know it's a lot different, but I always thought that one of the toughest things was when the ball was down that end, how am I going to stay in the game and make sure that I'm aware that when the action's coming my way that I have to be ready for it. So that's what I got to ask you.
My favorite thing to do is think that I run the offense. So I sit there in the goal and tell them where to go, and that keeps me locked in pretty quickly. But when the ball comes down the field, it's like an instant shift in momentum to where I'm like, I need to lock in now, and this is my time.
So you kind of move from coach to player within a split second. That's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I never even thought about that, but it certainly helped you. What gave you the inspiration to use that as your mechanism?
So my dream is to become a lacrosse coach one day, and I think that mentality, lax rat side of me kind of steps out every time I'm on the field.
I don't know of any players that have ever become coaches here at East Stroudsburg University. I don't think it's ever happened. I can't imagine. Are you thinking the same thing at this point? Yeah. Campbell Heller scored 10 goals and had an assist last year, also a PSAC Scholar Athlete. As you have become an upperclassman here at ESU, talk about how that process for you when you were a young player coming onto campus, and then you turn it around because it's expected of you as an upperclassman to kind of mentor the younger players. So talk about that a little bit.
I think it's important. I am a transfer student, so I think coming into this program, I really was looking for the best kind of team dynamic and culture, and I think we have a really good thing with all of our young people, just making sure that they're getting coached up by those upperclassmen, and I think me and Abby here, we really try to create a great bond between everyone that's younger than us and I'm everyone's biggest hype person. I'm going to cheer them on no matter what.
The human hype horn.
Yes,
huh?
yes. I am really good at motivating others and just making sure that no matter what kind of day you're having, I'm there for you to make sure that when we get to lacrosse, it's lacrosse time. We're going to lock in, and I'm going to cheer you on no matter what.
Now, is there somebody on the team that does that for you?
Oh, yeah, this girl right here.
Really? Okay.
Abby is 100% my number one fan.
All right.
She's everyone's number one.
So I told you guys what I was going to ask you, but now I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball for each of you, all right? I'm going to play a little game. A little game. Book, movie, or music. Book, movie, or music. One of the three. You have to choose one.
Okay.
Deserted island type of deal. Book, movie, music.
Oh, I'm gonna pick book.
Which one?
Ooh.
She had to know that was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm changing my answer too.
Do over. Mulligan.
I'm gonna change it to music, and I'm only listening to either One Direction or the Jonas Brothers.
Well, at least you had a firm answer. I appreciate that. Thank you, Abby. All right, now over to you, Campbell. What's it going to be? Book,
100%
movie, or music?
book.
Book. And what book would it be?
My favorite book is Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It would last you
Yeah,
a
it
while,
would, it
too.
would.
It would get you
Exactly.
through a few days on that deserted
yeah.
island. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Best of luck in your off season, and I know you guys are working hard towards the spring, so we can't wait to talk to you when the season gets going.
Yes.
Abby, Campbell, thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
We've got more to come. We're going to meet a couple of more lacrosse players here, and we might even play more book, movie, and music on the ESU Coaches Show tonight, so stay with us. We're at Teddy's every Monday night at 5 o'clock. Come on down and be part of the show next week. We'll be right back. We are at Teddy's University. It's the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. Right now we're talking to more of the ESU lacrosse team. To my left, Taylor Vara, who played in every game last season, is a PSAC scholar athlete from last season, and Sophia Graffeo, who 22 goals last season and a PSAC scholar, scored the game winner that sent the Warriors to the NCAA Finals back in 2022. So we've got some big-time playmakers here tonight. Taylor, I want us to talk about you. You're obviously in the off-season right now, but Coach told us about the quality of competition that you've been facing in this off-season. I mean, you can't buy that experience. What's that been like for you as a player?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We can't buy that experience, and it's been nice to get a taste of just kind of like the people we're going to see in season, but then people that we're not. So being able to, experience all different types of plays at all different levels just is going to elevate our game as much as possible right now.
Sophie, I'd ask you the same thing. What was it like to play against that high-quality, opposition?
It was good. Like Taylor said, just getting a chance to play against people who are good.
Yeah.
Well, seeing how your team measures up, right? How do you think you guys acquitted yourself?
I think we did really well. I think, everyone's gelling together and we look good.
What is the most difficult thing about having new players come into the program? I mean, the players that are going to be on the field with you in the spring are now here. It might be a big benefit that they have that whole semester to get involved in the team and figure out what their role is and what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, we all get used to playing with each other and seeing what tendencies we have and stuff like that. Our defense gets to gel and learn how to slide together and communicate. It's just getting used to each other.
That's one thing I'm always interested in is how teams communicate with each other, from back line to front line. In some cases you have 3 different groups of players that have to get the message. So how do you guys communicate that?
That's kind of been something we've really been putting a lot of emphasis right now is our communication. And I think just building relationships on and off the field is kind of what is going to benefit us in the long run. I think that us just having trust and creating that bond now is going to emphasize how much we can communicate in the spring.
So when this off season ends, how do you guys keep that bond together, even though you may not be practicing every day together as a group?
Well, when we go home, we have workout group chats where everyone sends stuff in when we're home, and then we also work out like in November. Hey, you want to go on a run with me? Just stuff like that.
What do you think the biggest thing that the team as a whole needs to work on for the upcoming season?
I think just our grit. I think that we can always go out there and get better every day and hustle harder. I don't think that that's something that we can ever not get better at. Right. So I just think going out there and proving to ourselves every day that we're capable of doing really great things in the spring.
All right, Taylor and Sophia, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Book, movie, or music, Deserted Island. Got to choose one.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go movie and The Goonies.
The Goonies, really? That's an interesting choice. All right, how about you? Book, movie, music.
Probably music.
And which would it be?
Country music, I think.
Come on now, be a little more specific. Give me a group.
Morgan Wallen.
Yes.
All right, Morgan Wallen. He's a legend in the making for sure. Well, Taylor Vara and Sophia Graffeo, we certainly appreciate a couple of minutes of your time tonight. Best of luck and keep the off season going strong. And we can't wait to hear what you guys are doing in the spring. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We've got more to come from the ESU Coaches Show. We're going to talk ESU football when we get back, and of course, we'll be wrapping up the show in just a bit with AJ's View. So stay with us. We're at Teddy's University for the ESU Coaches Show every Monday night at 5. Join us next week and stay with us. We'll be right back. We are back at the ESU Coaches Show. We're at Teddy's University in Stroudsburg. I'm Chuck Seese. Every Monday night at 5 during the football season, we're here. So come on down and join us. We've got several weeks left in the season. The Warriors are in the middle of the season right now, a big win over the Millersville Marauders, and I've got 2 Warrior players that were huge players and impact players in the game. To my left, Justin Cook. To my right, Sean McTaggart. You heard Coach Terwilliger talk about these guys. Sean threw 3 touchdown passes, ran for another. Justin scored 3 touchdowns, including 2 almost carbon copies of the offensive plays that you guys ran. You were open wide over the middle, and then the kickoff return. So talk about what it was like to have the prolific offense back this week for ESU.
It felt good to put more points on the board. We just had to execute and do what the coaching plan was, and that's exactly what we did.
Justin, I'm going to ask you, it seems that every week Sean can pick out a different player that there's going to be a good matchup against, and it certainly seemed like the matchup was there for you on Saturday. Talk about the 2 touchdown passes, because they were kind of carbon copies of each other.
Yes, sir. Now we worked on that throughout the whole week. We always knew our connection was there. It was just about making it happen on the field.
And then talk about that touchdown return, because initially you bobbled the ball at the 1 yard line, had to go back nearly to the goal line to get it, but then when you turned around, you saw lots of open space in front of you.
Yeah, man, that's just a testament to how hard we work on that unit. Coach Hags, he always puts together a great scheme for every week. The people on that unit always work hard, and we put in perfection.
I don't want to go into a game plan or anything, but when you guys have the football at the 45-yard line as opposed to the 30-yard line, it makes the offense, a little bit different.
That was one thing that we've really been trying to take a step is field position. Instead of starting at the 20-yard line, if we can get somewhere around the 30, 35, or even 40-yard line, that's just an extra couple first downs that we don't have to convert.
Bumps and bruises are happening at this time of year. Randy Pfizer goes down. DJ Thompson's still not back, and yet a guy like Justin Cook and JT Siggins can have big days for you.
We have a next man up mentality. We believe every guy that comes here that can play. And, if someone goes down, even if it's a big role player, we have a bunch of guys who can step up and still, manage that role and still be a good fit in the offense.
We know that there are a lot of young guys that are working their way into this Warrior lineup. We saw Bryce Bayshore has been in the lineup. We've also seen Sharif Ginyard in the lineup. So you know that it's a deep receiver room. It's got to be a good feeling knowing that you can support each other off the field and even on the field with the way you run your routes. And if you've got to throw a block downfield, you guys just find a way to get it done.
Yes, sir. Now, we work very hard as a unit. We make sure that everybody knows the assignments just like the ones or just like the twos. We really carry each other as a group. And it's like Tag said, it's just a next man up mentality, and we'll always be ready.
So what are you working on in your game right now?
What are working on my game?
Yeah.
I'm working on right now just yak yards, really. Last week I had a few plays that I thought myself I could just extend a little bit. I just want to make sure that I reach my full potential.
Well, we appreciate a couple of minutes of your time. And that electrifying kick return was kind of the icing on the cake last week against Millersville. Justin, thanks so much for a couple of minutes of your time.
Thank you.
Sean, again, what are you guys working on at this time of year other than obviously game plan, but, as you're working mentally, through your reads and through your processes? Talk about that.
Nothing changes. We have a certain way we do things, a certain way we read things. Every week it's different. We see a different defense every week, and this week we'll have a practice and a game plan going into Bloomsburg, and I'm going to do the best possible I can to execute that plan.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck, and thanks so much for being here, guys. We'll have live coverage of the Warriors, a pregame show, again, coming up at 1:30, the kickoff at 2 p.m. And you know what? While I have you guys here, let's play it. Book, movie, music. You got one choice on a deserted island.
Music.
Is it going to be a book? Is it going to be a movie? Is it going to be music? And if so, which one and what specifically?
It'll be a book. It's called Jim Candy.
All right. And how about you? Book, movie, music. On a deserted island, you get to choose one of the three. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a book and what music?
Country music.
Any specific artist? Who's your favorite country artist? You can tell me.
Luke Combs.
All right, Luke Combs. Not a bad choice. All right, there you have it. Sean McTaggart. Justin, say again?
I said thank you.
Oh, well, you're certainly welcome. Anytime, Sean. We certainly appreciate you guys being here. We've got more to come from the Warrior Coaches Show. We're going to talk to some of the defensive players with 3 turnovers last week. They certainly kept that offense on the field against Millersville. Back with more on that from Teddy's University. It's the ESU Coaches Show. Stay with us and join us next Monday night at 5. We'll be back right after this. We are back, and welcome back to the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We're live at Teddy's University tonight and every Monday night starting at 5 o'clock, so join us. We're talking ESU football right now with two Warrior defenders. To my left, Matt Davis. To my right, Everette Dingle. And Everette, I'm going to start with you because you kicked off the interception parade on Saturday afternoon. Was it something that just is being in the right place in the right time? Because it looked like most of the picks that we saw on Saturday were deflected balls. And I'm not sure if yours was the same, but tell me what you saw when you had that interception.
Coming into the game, I kind of knew what, the concept they were running. So, I just stayed calm, stayed patient. The ball opportunity came my way, and I just took advantage of it.
It was almost a pick six, too. You got by the first man, but somebody caught you from behind.
Yeah, you always want to take a pick six to the crib, but next time is definitely going to go to the crib.
This team is really getting after interceptions this season. I mean, you're taking the ball away much more than the quarterbacks are turning it over with interceptions. And is it become something that you guys are confident about every week that you're going to have opportunities?
No, definitely. We want to come into the week. We feel as though our biggest downfall is ourselves, as always. So we want to just go into the game, film study, trusting our coaches and believe in the cause that they put us in, just execute the cause. So that's the preparation we go into every week, and we want to just keep that high standard every single week.
Well, Matt Davis, I'm going to turn to you. A big day, tackle-wise, second leading tackler on the club right now. Again, the mentality of this defense is get to the ball as quickly as possible. How do you stay sharp doing that? If you're on one side of the field and the ball's on the other side of the field, it might not be the first instinct that you got to get over there to make a play, but it seems like you guys are always doing that every single time.
I think the biggest thing is that we trust in each other. So I don't really worry about running to the other side of the field because I know my teammates are going to handle it. But, it's all 11 to the ball. And we all got to do our job and be great as we can. And then just coming into the week, we prepare, and it's just work hard, compete, do it right consistently over and over again. So that's really what it is.
A lot of people talk about, thinking versus reacting or, in instinct. And has it gotten to the level, I think, with this entire defense that it's not think, it's really react and just react to what you see? Tell me about that.
Going into the week, we think in practice. That's what we work hard for. That's what we prep at. So we go into the game not thinking. We go into the game just doing because we know we're fully prepared just through the coaching staff and just trusting each other, just doing your 111 like I said before.
What are the things that you're concerned about, with yourself staying healthy throughout the course of the year? How do you prepare yourself on a week-in and week-out basis, to stay healthy and to stay on the field?
We have an amazing training staff. We have Jimmy Terwilliger. He definitely takes care of us. And me as well, he tries to make sure, that I'm in rehab and I'm in there every day or every other day just to make sure that we keep our bodies right. And that's just for the whole team as well. It's not just me. But it's just important that we all keep healthy because we're going to keep going for a long time, and that's the goal.
Well, appreciate your time. I'm going to ask Everette one more question. I'm going to come back and play book, movie, music. So be prepared for that, all right? Everette, again, the defensive backfield it just seems to be such a tight-knit group. And the other guys that I've talked to all give a lot of credit to Coach Billy Inge. Talk about, how he shapes the mentality of the defensive backfield room.
Coach B.I., I like to call him a wizard back there. He's just a wizard. He just understand football. And, he just gives us DBs advice. He also wants to go in one mind, communicate, over-communicate. That's something we always say coming into the game. We want to over-communicate. But B.I., hats off to him, man.
Tell me how that communication works from one side of the field to the other.
It starts with the side of the call. Whoever sees the call first, echo it to the nearest person, and just keep going down the line. Starts with the corner goes to the safety goes to the linebacker goes to the D-line, and just keep going. It's a chain of command.
This defense is not giving up a lot of passing touchdowns. So talk about, is that a collective goal or obviously something you take a lot of pride in?
That's where communication come in. If you trust in the person next to you, you understand and you understand the scheme, you just always want to keep the lid on the defense. Nothing behind you, nothing behind us at all. So we want to continue to give up no touchdowns. We gave up 2, but it happens. But at the end of the day, we don't want to give up no more touchdowns for the rest of the season. That's all.
We all hear that, and we certainly expect great things from this Warrior defense. You guys will get after it against Bloomsburg on Saturday. So here we go. Book, movie, music. You're on a deserted island. You can only pick one of the 3, but you got to pick one of the 3. Is it going to be a book, a movie, or music?
Music.
And who's it going to be?
No cat.
All right, there you go. Book, movie, or music, Matt?
I would definitely say music. I'm more of like an old school R&B, so I think I would go
You're
for.
Send me some OJs or some Temptations, or we go that far back, or how far back are we going?
Because of my dad, I'll say the OJs. I definitely listen to the OJs.
You cannot
I
go
definitely
wrong
listen
with
to
the OJs, my man.
Can't,
That's an
not at
awesome
all.
choice. I think I put that in your head, though.
No, you didn't. I know a bunch of songs about the OJs.
All right, 100%. I got you. Well, we certainly appreciate a couple of minutes of your time tonight. Guys, get after it against Bloomsburg. We'll have live coverage Saturday afternoon at 1:30, kickoff at 2 o'clock from Redmond Stadium. And then join us here Monday for the Coaches Show. If you want to come down and meet the players that we talked to, you can do that next Monday night at 5 o'clock. Back to wrap up the show with AJ's View right after this on the ESU Coaches Show, live from Teddy's University. Welcome back to the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. It is time for AJ's View. I turned to AJ Monsman, one of the student coaches here at East Stroudsburg University. You were down on the sideline in that game against Millersville when the Warriors took a lead and then got the ball. The interceptions, the turnovers were a constant theme throughout the ball game, and you must have been able to feel some sort of momentum change down there. Talk about that.
Yeah, football's always a game of momentum. I think we did a great job getting the momentum. I know we punted on the first drive, but even that, Adam Knoll with a great punt, able to down it on the one, the defense going out and getting a stop. And when they, punted it back, a big touchdown to Justin Cook on the first play. Right there, the momentum change. And, we had it kind of from that point on. They went down and scored, but after that, our defense did a great job. 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions. Everette, Dingle, Adewale Obayinju, and X-Gary, great job. Able to celebrate him on the sideline. And I think our team fed off the momentum and just kept it rolling with a big win.
I thought the team excelled in all 3 phases of the game. I know that the one extra point got blocked, and you hate to have a blemish like that, but otherwise I thought it was a really, really strong day on all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah, I thought all 3 phases, really, really worked well together, played complementary. Sean McTaggart having a great game on the offensive side, the defense collectively playing a great game, and then special teams, like I said, Adam Knoll with a great punt, Ty Quintos 3 for 3 on field goals. The blocked extra point, obviously you don't want it to happen, but it's a learning experience, and we're using it, and we're going to get better because of it, and it's not going to happen again, and we're just happy that the best came out, and they really definitely played complimentary football. 1
week at a time continues to be the goal. I'm the way I kind of phrased it going into the Millersville game was taking care of business. If ESU goes out and takes care of business week in and week out, they should be right where they want to be at the end of the season. I'm sure that's the way you guys are approaching it.
Yeah, absolutely. We just want to go 1-0 every week. And, I think it proved to our guys that, up 14-0 on Kutztown, talented football team. Obviously, it didn't work out well, but we made a lot of mistakes late, and I think it proved to the guys that the only team that can hurt us is the guys in our room. And we just got to play. We got to play free. We got to play fast. And every team on our schedule, there's no easy wins in the PSAC, and we have to take it 1 week at a time and go 1-0. And our guys, I think, were able to get it done, and we're going to try and get it done against Bloomsburg this week.
Well, Bloomsburg got kicked around a little bit by Kutztown last Saturday, and they're kind of in a similar situation, taking a tough loss. They might come out a fiery bunch on Saturday.
Absolutely, and Bloom is a very talented football team. Like I said, all the PSAC schools on our schedule are tough wins. We don't take them for granted, and Bloom's a great team. I don't think their record shows how good they are. They're a great team, and they're looking, after last year, it's their homecoming. We're going to their house, so we got to come out and play, and we can't beat ourselves, and we got to come out and play because they're a really good football team looking for a win. But, so are we, so I think it should be a good one on Saturday.
AJ, always appreciate the time.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for having me on.
AJ's View here at Teddy's University, part of the ESU Coaches Show. We've got one final segment that we're going to get to in just a minute. We're going to sit down with the owner of Teddy's University, our hosts for the ESU Coaches Show. You can join us next Monday night at 5 o'clock. We'll be here live at Teddy's when the ESU Coaches Show comes back next Monday. But don't go anywhere. We're coming back for a final word right after this. You're watching the ESU Coaches Show from Teddy's University. Solid as always. Welcome back to the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We're at Teddy's University, and I'm here with Joey Schrader, the proprietor of Teddy's University. We really want to thank you for having us here every Monday night. It's a lot of fun to be here, so close to campus, and I know that this is a big part of your relationship with East Stroudsburg University, is having so many people that are affiliated with campus come down and enjoy themselves here at Teddy's.
Yeah. When we got approached to do this year, we were ecstatic.
we've kind of become like the sports bar of the area, and being a former student athlete, always like giving back to the programs and all that. Having all the kids in here every week's worked out really good for us.
I got to ask you how the whole thing with the Rangers came to be. I know your father was a huge hockey fan, a hockey player, and I guess that's where it all started.
Yeah, so he became a hockey fan before the Flyers were in existence, and I think it was Channel 9 back in the day with the Rangers.
Sure.
I moved home in 2012, and they made the playoffs. I think 2014 it was. I said, you know what, I have a bunch of my old jerseys that are hanging up now. Let me hang a couple up. They made the finals that year, and it just kind of caught on like wildfire. And I mean, this past year was absolutely nuts down here, so it was good.
Well, I got to tell you, as a Flyers fan, I think we might have the Rookie of the Year this year with Michkov. I don't know. I don't know what you've read or what you heard. Do you think we've got a good one there?
I got a lot of Flyers fans around town, and every year it's the same thing with them. Oh, we're good.
This guy.
And it always falls off around December, and then I don't hear much from them anymore. So we'll see. Yeah, they got some young.
Hey, I was excited the way they played last year. I know they didn't make the playoffs, and I know they had a really bad end of the last 2 weeks of the season.
Right.
But I thought they were a young, exciting team to watch.
They got the right coach. Tortorella was the coach for the Rangers
when
they were young. So he's a perfect fit for them, for the young kids to kind of mentor them and bring them up. But yeah, I mean, as a Rangers fan, I hope they slightly miss the playoffs, I guess we'll say.
I'm not sure I understand why you would ever say something like that. But no. Again, back to the relationship that you have with the community. I mean, you see these athletes in here, and you see that, some of these guys, what they can become because of what they do on the field, and it's got to be pretty inspirational.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, growing up myself, I was a hockey player, but same atmosphere.
Sure.
And I always like giving back. I mean, you come across student athletes, and I really haven't met a bad one in all my years playing, coaching, and now doing this. The respect level that they bring just to life in general and to their sport. It's fun to see, and we want nothing but the best for them.
It kind of says something about the student athletes that we attract here at East Stroudsburg University, too. Yeah. I mean, I think that goes a long way. Yep. Well, again, Joey, we really thank you. Appreciate your hosting us this year. Yep. Best of luck to the Rangers.
That's right, yeah. Wednesday night they start out.
Is that right?
We'll be packed
I can't believe that the season, the Flyers don't get to play until the season's a week old. They have a West Coast trip. They're out in Vancouver and Seattle and that, but they don't start until Friday night, which is crazy. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get the chance to see them when they get back to the East Coast.
That's right.
Joey, thanks, and we'll see you next Monday night.
Yep, I'll be here.
All right, we're here every Monday night for the ESU Coach Show, Monday night at 5 p.m. Come down and join us next week. Come down and say hi to Joey, and they'll treat you right here at Teddy's University. I'm Chuck Seese. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday night at 5 p.m. for the ESU Coaches Show.